Yeah.
Dr. Aditya Pradhan is a young and dynamic cornea specialist from Disha Eye Hospitals, Calcutta. He's numerous awards to his credit. He has been Young Achiever Award, ISCARUS 2016, and also won Think Under the Apple Tree from AIOC in 2018. He is also reviewer for cornea and external diseases for Indian Journal of Ophthalmology and section editor for cornea for AIOS Times, as well as section editor for cornea for TJOSR. Over to you, Dr. Aditya Pradhan, please.
Thank you, sir, for the kind introduction. I'll just stop your screen sharing.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So I would like to begin my case presentation. Thank you, Somashila ma'am and AIOS Scientific Committee for the kind opportunity. So I have no financial interest in any of the products in this presentation. So this was a saga of around 11 months in all, starting from October 2016, when this gentleman of 65 years was residing in West Bengal, about 250 kilometers from the base hospital at Barakpur. He was a farmer by occupation. He came with the chief complaints of diminution of vision, redness, and pain in his left eye. The history was that he had, while working in his field, he had a trauma to his left eye by a wooden stick 3 weeks prior. And he was treated by about 2 or 3 ophthalmologists. I was the 4th one. And all of them had done some form of microbiological workup in the form of corneal scraping and KOH stain. And he was getting topical as well as systemic antifungals before he presented to our hospital. The important point was no indigenous medicines, that is local treatment or steroids, were given by any of the prior ophthalmologists. And the interesting point that the right eye was lost due to a similar injury while working in the field about 10 years ago. And basically it was an empty socket. The eye had become thiazical. So if you go to the clinical picture, this was the presentation that you could see a total limbus to limbus corneal ulcer with a thick hypopion that is filling almost half of the anterior chamber with a very central dense infiltrate, which is also extended to the periphery. So the vision was only positive perception of light. And considering that the one-eyed status, the prior 3 weeks of treatment with antifungals, both topical and systemic, the decision was taken to undergo an immediate therapeutic keratoplasty in that left eye. Fortunately, the syringing was patent in both the eyes. The surgery was performed by me on the same day under local anesthesia. The diameter of the graft was about 12 millimeters and the lens was preserved on the table. This clinical photograph is at day 7 after the therapeutic keratoplasty. The uncorrected visual acuity was 1/60. The culture of the host corneal tissue showed the growth of fusarium. The species could not be identified. Along with that, the AC was well formed. There was a nuclear sclerosis cataract of grade 4. And he was continued on oral and topical antifungals along with cycloplegics, a broad spectrum antibiotic, and artificial tears for 4 times a day to reduce the irritation caused by the sutures. So this is basically a timeline starting from 1 month after the therapeutic keratoplasty, where we cautiously started the topical steroids. The IOP and the visual acuity were pretty stable. About 6 weeks after the therapeutic graft, we are continuing the steroids. However, at around day 60, that is 2 months after the surgery, the patient suddenly presented with a mild reduction in the vision and increased redness, which had subsided due to the steroids given earlier. But now the redness had returned on probing and prodding and some questioning. The patient did admit that he had run out of the drops since the past 1 week. And there was a focal endothelial scar, this linear scar marks on the cornea, which I will show in the next slide. So we stepped up the topical treatment, the steroids especially, and asked him to report. Again, he was lost to follow-up. At 3 months after the initial keratoplasty, the steroids were going on. There was focal pass in 2 quadrants of the graft. The density of the nucleus sclerosis was gradually increasing. With pinhole, he was able to see 6/60. However, the details of the fundus were not clear. Around 133 days after the initial keratoplasty, the process was ongoing. The patient was almost regular in his follow-ups and compliant with the drops. However, we were able to see that the endothelial morphology was not very clear. I do not have the specular photograph to share with you, unfortunately. But the cells, although they were seen, the machine was not able to count them, and the morphology was not very healthy. So in our mind, we were thinking that this patient would end up with a graft failure eventually, considering there was a small graft rejection episode earlier at 2 months after the keratoplasty. So we gave this option both to ourselves and to the patient that yes, he may end up recovering another keratoplasty with simultaneous extraction of the cataract and an implantation of the IOL. At around day 214, that is almost 7 months after the initial keratoplasty, the vision was dropping, the cataract density was increasing. However, due to severe financial constraints, he was not willing to undergo for a triple procedure. And so we thought of that, okay, let's go just ahead with the cataract surgery and the IOL, and then do a DSEC or some other form of keratoplasty later on if needed. The patient and his relatives agreed to this thought process. So yes, this is day 214. As you can see, the cataract density has quite gone, and these are the linear endothelial scarring I was talking about in one small area of the graft. And so the patient was awaiting cataract surgery. Yes, the endothelial health was doubtful, but considering the limited choices for visual rehabilitation, especially was one-eyed, so we did decide to go ahead with the cataract surgery. Here I would like to emphasize that I did refer this patient to a colleague of mine, is Dr. Arup Bhaumik, a very senior cataract consultant at our hospital, because the density of the cataract and my surgical expertise as a cataract surgeon were not in tandem. So I decided that this has to be taken care by a very senior cataract surgeon. So as you can see, he did go undergo cataract surgery with a single piece hydrophobic IOL. On day 7 of the cataract, the visual acuity with pinhole was 6/18. There was, as this endothelial scarring as mentioned earlier, he was on steroids, a broad spectrum antibiotic and artificial tears. We could see the fundus very clearly for the first time after the keratoplasty. It was very healthy, and the IOP was also normal. So this is cataract post-op day 56, almost 2 months after the cataract surgery. Visual acuity of 6/18 with a minus 2.25 cylinder, and the drops and the steroids were continued. Everything was fine. Around 3 months after the cataract surgery, again presented with complaints of reduced vision and pain in 1 week. He was not seen by me, but another branch of the hospital by another cornea colleague. And the visual acuity had dropped from 6/18 to 5/60. There was severe graft edema, cells, flare in the anterior chamber. The working diagnosis was an episode of acute graft rejection. This would be the second episode. The IOP had also shot up, so it was managed medically. And the patient came back to me. This was 112 days after the cataract. Vision had dropped actually further. The reaction, AC reaction had reduced. The IOP had become acceptable, but the graft edema was persistent. We could tell that it was headed towards failure. So we planned a slow taper of the steroids and what had been discussed earlier, that is another graft for the patient. But the saga ends here. The patient did not show up after this, in spite of repeated requests over the phone and other ways to communicate with him, but he did not show up after this. So this is the end of the presentation. These are the learning and the discussion points which would, I think, be taken up by the moderators, that I had some questions and, how would anybody else approach this case? So one is the history taking, one is...
Aditya, I'll just stop you here so we can go to the moderators.
Yeah.
Mainly